Today we're going to work on writing our patterns with due, due date, and quarter rest. So the first thing I want to do is just review with you what our quarter note, which is our due, and our due day, which is paired eighth notes, look like. So to write our due, we have our note stem, and then we have our note head. Notice how I'm filling that note head in. That is very, very important. So make sure that you fill that in so that we have the right note written down. Now the due date is written very similarly. We have our note stem, we have another note stem, and we have to connect those with a bar across the top. Now, right below, just like our due or quarter note, we have to make sure that we have our note heads. Notice how my notes look like the letter D, and not like the letter B. We want to make sure that they look this way because that is correct. This actually is a different sign of music. It's called a flat sign. So if we see those, it's going to be kind of confusing. So make sure that your notes look like the letter D. All right, now it's time to learn how to make that lovely little quarter rest. So here is my suggestion. I suggest that you write the letter Z. Mine's a little crooked, that's okay. And then right here, you're gonna connect the letter C. And there you have your quarter rest. So I'm gonna put another one of those over here. So make the letter Z again. And then you make the letter C. All right, so we all know that sometimes we see our notes in this direction, sometimes we see it where the note head is on the top. So I am going to go through when we are going to write a pattern with our note heads on the top, and I'll kind of show you what happens with, actually I'm going to show you what happens with the quarter rest first. Look at this, this is so nice. We have the letter Z and we have the letter C. And guess what, my friends? The quarter rest never switches directions. It does not go, the bottom part, the little C part, does not go to the top. It will always be in this direction. Okay, so you don't have to figure out how to draw that upside down. That's kind of nice. Now, let's practice that one more time. So we have our Z and we have our letter C. Very good, and I'm going to draw my bar line or my measure line. Now I'm going to practice my do this direction. Now it's technically not upside down. I'm going to say it's upside down, but it's not. We actually see music like this quite often. So make sure on this one that your note head is on the top right here. And there you go. Due day is the same way. So you draw your note stems. This time, instead of the bar being on the top, the bar is going to be on the bottom. So make sure that you put the bar on the bottom. And then you're going to add your note head at the top right here. Now, some people, I should say this, some people, their bar is just a little bit darker. That depends on what your teacher prefers. I am indifferent. I know that sometimes we're writing pretty quickly, but most of the time when you do look at actual notation, that bar is a little bit thicker than the rest of the note stems. Now, one real quick clue with our notes that look like this, they need to look like the letter P and not like the letter Q. So we want to make sure that the note stem is on the correct side, which is the left side. When we're doing it this way, it's on the right side. So what I usually say for my little clue or my hint is your notes need to look like the letter D and the letter P. All right, I'm going to also share a picture on our virtual classroom, and I would like to challenge you to try to copy all the notes that are on that page. Now, it's okay if you don't have a plain piece of white paper like I do. If you have notebook paper and that's what you have to write on, excellent. If you don't have papers and pencils, it's okay. If you have some chalk and it's a nice day out, maybe you want to practice your notes outside with chalk. But these are just, this is how you write them, and just gives you that practice that we'll need so that when we get to writing and you get to creating, you know exactly what to do.